Hello baddies, in this video we're gonna talk about money. Of course we all wish we had like $1 billion, but that's not true. So in order to not be financially very low or just broke, we have to develop certain habits in order to not go broke or in order to not stay broke, because some people are broke already. But if you're someone who's not broke, you could go broke in the future if you continue to do the things that you do. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So in this video, I'm going to basically talk about financial responsibility, how to be more financially responsible so that you do not lose your money and you can live lavishly. So let's go. Number one, live within your means. So I know quite a few people who live above their means and they literally don't save. They spend all of the money they get. They spend a lot of money basically they waste basically all of their money trying to show off, you know. They get their salary, they buy this new Louis Vuitton bag or the Chanel bag or some things that they don't really need. And there's some people who waste their money on basically things that they don't really need at all. Like a person switching from a good phone to another good phone just because it's a new phone. Like, what is the point? Like, there's no point unless you're someone who has the money to actually do it. Then go ahead, it's your choice. But if you're someone who's balancing it out, I would definitely recommend living within your means. Do not buy anything that you don't really need and try to always live within your means. Do not try to overspend, and especially do not waste your money on things that are not necessary or unwanted things, especially if you just want to splurge your money or you just want to show off. Don't do that. Live within your means, because trust me, your future will thank you. Number two, budgeting. Now, budgeting is super important, and honestly, rich people do this as well. That is why the rich stay rich, and most poor people don't actually do that, because what is budgeting? And that is the reason poor people stay poor, like some of them. And I feel really bad saying the word poor, but I feel like in this video it is really important to say poor people, and by no means am I saying anything bad about poor people. These are just facts. Oh god, my mom. Budgeting is really important no matter where you are financially, whether you're rich, poor, middle class, lower class, doesn't matter. You need to have a budget, like a monthly budget, a yearly budget, or a weekly budget. It really keeps you in track. You will know where your money is going to, you will know what you're spending your money on, and you can really understand where all the useless expenses are and where the useful expenses are. Like, for example, the minute I started budgeting, I realized how much money I wasted on sweets, or how much money I wasted on perfumes that I don't really need, which I don't even use. I realized a lot of meaningful things in my transactions list on my bank account, and I realized, oh my goodness, I am wasting this many dollars for no reason. And budgeting really does help you. I keep a certain budget for partying with my friends, for groceries, for utilities, for my needs, my wants, and all of those things. Budgeting is super important, so learn to budget. If you have expenses like getting your lashes done every month or getting your nails done, always stay within your budget. Okay, add everything that you need to do, add everything you want to do, and make sure you have a budget and make sure you're saving at the end of the day. Budget and stick to your budget. Do not ever think like, okay, it's just $1 above my budget. Do not think that. Learn to stick to your budget. The minute you start being the person who spends like $5 above their budget, trust me, in the future you're going to keep repeating this and it's going to turn into a habit. And it did happen to me, and trust me, it went out of control. Don't do it. Trust me. Experience. Number three, save for the future. You know, a lot of people say you need to have savings that can keep you alive for at least 6 months. That means you gotta have enough money in your savings account that could cover the cost of rent, utilities, groceries, your needs, wants for 6 good months. Just in case you lose a job or something happens, something bad happens, touch wood, you need to have money. So honestly, I feel like this is a really good advice. I prefer honestly saving up for like a whole year so that I don't really have to worry, and that is exactly what I'm doing. I always save up for my future, because you never really know what's gonna happen in the future. Like, for instance, if some laptop breaks, like, okay, for example, I have enough money to buy a new laptop urgently, just in case my laptop stops working and blah blah blah. But I'm not talking about simple things like laptops. Obviously that was like a mini example, like a simple example, but yes, always save up for your future, for your future kids. And honestly, if you're a parent, from the date that your child is born, you need to start saving up for their college tuition, for their needs and wants, for any medical purposes. Always start saving, because something I've seen few people do is that they don't really save because they think that they're gonna have a healthy child. I really hope that everyone has a healthy child, but that is not the truth. Not everyone's gonna have a healthy child. Some children just need to go through surgeries, operations, medical procedures, and parents don't have the money for it, so children don't really get those treatments done because the parents don't have money. The day that I start planning to make children, I'm going to definitely save up shit tons of money just to make sure that anything happens to my child when she's a baby, I have the money and I don't really need to wait around waiting for money to come to me. So it's just an example. I'm not just talking about children, I'm talking about everything. So save up for your future. Number 4, learn how to control your spending habits. This was a huge problem in my life. Every time, and I still deal with this, every time I go to the grocery store, I go to buy one product and then I buy shit tons of things. And today I thought to myself, and that is why I'm making this video, by the way, if I can't control my spending habits, what I'm gonna do is I'm not going to go to the grocery store for like 2 weeks. I'm punishing myself basically. If I cannot control my impulses, if I cannot discipline myself, then that is what I'm gonna do. I am not going to go to the grocery store. I'm not going to go to a mall. I'm not going to do any of that thing so that I could not waste money. Because when I look back at all of my expenses, some of the things are things that I don't really need. Some of the things, sometimes I don't even remember what I bought. So if it's not important enough for you to remember, it's probably something you don't even need. So learn to control your spending habits. And I told you my way. I am not allowing myself to go to the grocery store more than once a week. So that one time in a week, I have to stick to my budget of grocery shopping for the week. And that's about it. I'm not going to the grocery store again. And that is my way of controlling my spending habits. Because the minute I see a perfume or like something cute, I'll be like, oh my goodness, I need this, but I don't really need it, and then it'll end up in my balcony, which I never go to. So yeah. Number 5, debt. This is a principle of mine. Never ask for loans, never get into debt. Debt is like the worst enemy. It is your worst enemy. Don't get a credit card. Now, I know sometimes credit cards could be really useful. You could build your credit score and stuff like that, but if you're a teenager, do not get a credit card. If you're like an adult who still has very bad habits, especially if you're not financially responsible, and if you're someone who's most likely to use your credit card often and not really, do what you're supposed to do, then don't get a credit card if you're not responsible enough. So when it comes to loans, I prefer not getting any loans from anyone. I do give out loans, but I never take loans unless very, very necessary. But I never take loans. I never ever take loans because it could be really, really harmful. It could ruin your relationship with the person you're taking a loan from, especially if it's friends or family. Trust me, saying this with experience. Number 2, it's gonna be over your head all the fucking time and it's so annoying. And trust me, if you're like in debt, like you gotta pay interest and blah 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 blah, it's financially very damaging. Do not get a loan if it's not absolutely necessary. When I mean necessary, I mean if you gotta get a medical procedure, or if you got to pay something like a university fee or tuition fee or something like that. But if you're taking out a loan to buy a new car because you want to look cool, or you're taking a loan because you want to buy a birthday gift for your friend, or if you're asking for a loan from your friend because you want to buy the new iPhone, yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that, because that is completely unnecessary. Not get into debt for no freaking reason. Try to keep yourself away from debt, because debt is the worst enemy. Okay, it is the absolute worst enemy. And I would pass this on to my grandkids, my great grandkids. Do not ever get into debt. First thing about being financially responsible is never take loans, never ask for loans. And honestly, I would definitely recommend not giving out loans, because sometimes you might lose your money in the process. But you do you, and never get into debt. So these were basically my 5 financial responsible tips, how you can be financially responsible. If you want more tips, please let me know in the comment section down below. And a good book that I recommend if you want to get more into you know, finances and stuff like that, is the psychology of money. It is amazing, and I learned a lot of stuff from that book, and I will link the PDF like where you can read it online in the description box below. You're welcome. So yeah, anyways, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below what other videos you guys would love to see, and I would love to make them. And yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.